As with the previous example, this example involves a lot of JavaScript and a little bit more advanced, but once again, it's one of the more important aspects of HTML5, and that is WebSockets. This is in the category connectivity, and WebSockets makes it possible for web applications or web pages to communicate in full duplex. That means that they can send information and receive information directly, so you can send and receive without having to make a response and request. If you read back in the beginning of this course about how the internet works, it basically works by web browsers talking to web servers, and they request a page, and then the web server sends a response and sends back the page. And this isn't really a good way to build any type of real-time applications. WebSockets gives us the ability to create true web-time applications for sending sound and video and text and playing games and making online chats and so forth. And what happens is that it basically changes protocols. Instead of communication going over HTTP, which is what web pages usually use, the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is built on response and request, it switches to WS, which stands for WebSockets. And in that protocol, you can send information without having requested it. It can be sent back and forth. So it's very important to see this, get a little understanding for how it works. But once again, it requires quite a bit of JavaScript. And the big part of JavaScript is that on the server side, there is something called Node.js. And Node.js is basically a web server that is entirely written in JavaScript. And it also makes the whole thing much faster because it's very quick. So I'm going to show you first what this does, and it's actually simply a real-time chat, but very fast and can support quite a bit of users at the same time. So you can see I've just tested. I've done 3 different computers from Will and Bob and Sally and tested. And if you test this from different computers and write things really fast. I just created another name called really fast. That was a mistake. Oh well. Really, I wasn't paying attention. I am so fast. I wrote the wrong name. But you get the idea, is that a chat is sent back and forth, and what happens in this application, we have a simple HTML page here that provides us the interface, and it changes protocols when we send. So when I write this here, everyone else is in the chat, it will be sent out, and everyone will have their screen updated basically instantly. So I encourage you guys to test this and see how it works. And once again, I'm going to quickly walk through the code. If you know JavaScript, of course, try to study a little better and see if you can understand what's going on. So I've broken up the code. I'm not going to show you the code on the server. Of course, there's a small program running on the server to accept the different answers from the different users and then send them out to all the other users. But we'll skip showing that, but I can show the client side. And so basically we have 2 things. We have the HTML page in front of us here. It's based on this guy's code. A little chat, a little bit of style here to make it look like it does. You can play with that if nothing else. And then all we have is a little bit in the body. We have 1 input, basically, and that's what we write in. And then we even use functions.js, and we use jQuery. We'll be talking about that later. And then functions.js, that's our JavaScript. And as we can see here, we create some HTML we're going to talk to, a little bit of colors, and then here's the important part. We see if WebSocket, the HTML5 support for this protocol, is supported. Window refers to the browser. WebSocket, if it can create those variables, then we know. If it's there, it's not there, sorry, your browser doesn't support, and so forth. All modern browsers do. And then what we do is we reconnect basically to the server. Instead of talking over HTTP, here we see that we switch protocol to WS, and then here's the name of the server, and we change protocols to 1337. This could be anything, it just uses 1337. So we've changed and we created a connection with WebSockets. Now we have this connection. And then we connect a couple of events here. On open, we do something. On error, we say, oh, there's something went wrong. Of course, this might happen sometimes. When you guys test this, the server side, the code there could crash, of course, and then nothing would work. So you can just let me know if that takes place. And then on message, this is what happens when there's a message sent. We use a little bit of, we have to parse the data. It's JSON. And I won't do any of the details. But basically, all we do is status text, my name, a little color, and then we add the author and then the text they wrote, and we send it. And then we do this, that we can send the message even by doing the enter key. A little job of that. And so that's, oh, I don't want to go into too much detail. But basically you can see, as we're using this, we're changing to the WebSocket protocol, and then we're sending the messages back and forth based on events. So when something's sent, it goes, and when something, when an incoming message, an event is fired, so that the browser doesn't have to wait for a response and request. It just basically is notified. It's like a doorbell ringing. Here comes a message, and then the message comes in. So this is a quick showing you of WebSockets. Test this in the chat, see how fast it works, look through the code, and once again, if you're a little more familiarized with JavaScript, then feel free to experiment a little more with this. Okay.